All right, I'm Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. I am the founder, chief principal teacher, host, and spiritual minister, as well as spiritual metaphysician for the Circle of Grace One, founded on July 2nd, 1999 AD, under the aegis and the anointing of the Angel of Grace through divine providence. It has its own spiritual and metaphysical institute, which is a 5-tiered institute. And it was founded on February the 7th, 2009 AD. It is called the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance. And I'm here today. It is Tuesday, May the 2nd, 2017. I'm doing this pre-recorded session because I will not be available this Thursday, or May the 4th at 5 p.m. to do a live session. So I'm coming on today to replace this Thursday's session, and I will be back next Thursday on May the 11th, 2017 at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And I hope by that time I will be able to invite many of you who are my clients and students into this series. Now, before we get started, through divine power and by divine grace, may all of you who have this opportunity to see this today, and when I email it out to you, may be blessed by the seeds that you hear, so shall it be. Now, one of the things I'm going to talk specifically about right now, this particular session, is all about the basics of meditation and the importance of doing a meditation on a daily basis. With all of the life's pleasures and treasures and many of the events that are constantly going around in this 3D world that we find ourselves in, that we know that we agreed to have our souls come in and experience this, may we keep in mind that meditation is just important to us as breathing, as the intake of pure water and proper foods for our body, and exercise and rest. So today, this is a very short video segment. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I just want to put out some points and steps that you should be aware of when you are preparing or going through or desiring to do meditation for yourself. But one of the most important things involved in meditation, of course, is breathing. And many of you know that you have to breathe sort of like a baby breathes, using your diaphragm. And the baby does it naturally employs the diaphragm by allowing the belly, which is the lower abdomen, around by your belly button, to fall forward, to press forward as you inhale. And by doing so, it brings more air into the upper part of your lungs as well, into the bronchial tubes. And when you breathe in this manner, not only are you breathing more air into the lungs, but you're taking into consideration that you can use the entire capacity of the bronchial tube system in the lungs. And then, of course, this allows you to exhale more of the stagnated energy in the lungs out of the body. So that's very important for you to know. Now, when you're breathing with your chest, letting your chest rise up and down by itself, from back, you're not allowing for enough air to really come in. So there's no need to really do that. But when you do exhale, you want to draw the belly button back as close as you can into your body. And that allows you to press more air out of the lungs. Now, there are many distinctive groups that utilize this method. Those who practice yoga, Hatha yoga, and Raja yoga, Bhakti yoga, Jain yoga, all of these different yogic systems, they are paying strict attention to the breathing, because in the breathing, there is an opportunity to magnetize the air coming into the body, and it's called pranayama, because in the air is prana. That is the Hindu Sanskrit term for spirit. In the Chinese martial arts, it's called chi, C-H-I, anglicized. In the Mandarin and Cantonese languages, is Q-I, ki, and then Kong, or Kong, Q-O-N-G, in English, K-U-N-G, so Qigong practices, which is the ability or skill to move the breath with the energy in the air through your body. And then, of course, the Japanese language, that prana and chi is called ki, K-I, and it's usually around the sacral chakra, which is the point beneath your navel by about 2 to 3 finger widths, which is about 1.5 inches to 2 inches beneath your navel. And that is the storehouse spot for which the chi is being stored within the body. In fact, that part of the body can remain warm or cool depending on your intention that you have to lay out throughout the body. Now, also, we refer to it as spirit. Others call it orgone energy. So you want to be aware of that, of breathing properly for your body. The next thing you want to be aware of, everyone, is how you are seated. How you are seated. So I like to use firm chairs. I always say I love a firm chair, a firm couch. Why? Because I do not want my pelvis and hip range to be lower than my knees. Now, when you're trying to meditate, or you're attempting to meditate, and this is from my experience, when your pelvis, hip range, is lower than your knees, there's a little bit of discomfort in the lower part of your back and on your knees. So if you're sitting in a chair where the cushion is soft like that and the chair is positioned low, then I suggest so that you have greater than a 90-degree angle on your knees, and that will allow you to have more comfort going on in the pelvis and the lower part of your back. Your spine is not really straight anyway. Naturally, your spine is curved, right, from your shoulder range into the back, and it's housing the body properly and going down to the lower part of your back. Those of us who practice Tai Chi for a long time, you can actually manipulate the lower part of your pelvis. And we say that you tuck it in, and that allows to pull more energy down through the spine and more rapidly for the chi to go up and down through the spine. So you want to sit on a firm chair. That's essential. You want to, that way your back is straight for yourself. Your shoulders can work on being down, pressing the shoulders down and back, keeping the head square over the shoulders. Now, also, what you want to have, if you don't have that, and you have to watch the kind of chairs that you sit back, like certain kitchen chairs, dining room chairs that do that where they lean back, and it really causes you to slouch in the chair. And so I always like to use something similar to a computer chair, if possible, a computer chair. Now, for those who practice yoga, they do have floor chairs, as they call them, floor padding, where you can sit on a pillow that has a back that kind of leans back, and you can put a pillow on it, so that it fills in that gap between the lower part of your back and pelvis range and the back of that cushioned chair that allows you to sit on the floor. If you can, do your best not to be prone. Usually you fall asleep in a prone position only because you've done it at least 10,000, 20,000 times in your lifetime already in this world. Whenever you lay down in a prone position, so your body is just about 180 degrees to the max, stretched out, usually what happens is you're going to relax so much that you're going to begin to fall asleep. And if you do fall asleep, even in a seated position, if you do fall asleep, that usually means that you're tired anyway. You're tired mentally and you're tired physically. So there's a lot of discipline, awareness, and attention and sensitivity that goes in just to these preliminary stages about meditation, seating properly, for yourself. And if you choose to be in a prone position, sometimes people use like a lounge chair where their hip range, that hip, because that's what we're measuring this from, the pelvis hip area, hip joints are 120 degrees, 130. See, when you get into those range, 120 to 150, 180, you're going to go to sleep because the body's already programmed to do that. It's not just be at rest, okay? So the same position that you would normally use in a chair for maybe working at your typewriter, your laptop, your computer, desktop, or read a book at a table is just about the same position you want to take when you meditate. Now, here's another important pointer I want to bring out to you because people need to be aware of this and to realize this other important feature is that when you meditate, you want to meditate daily to your best of your ability. Now, many people are working all kinds of schedules, nighttime, evening, so you need your rest, and that's important. You got to get your rest. But when you want to practice meditation, you have to find at least, for some people, they like to do 20 minutes. I say 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Why? Because you spend the first 2.5 to 5 minutes in the beginning and before you meditate, and at the end when you're coming out of the meditation to make sure you're centered and grounded and that you have the proper body mechanics in place, which is your posture, and then the rhythm of your breathing. That's also helpful for you to be aware of. So you actually need 30 minutes, basically, because you're going to spend 20 minutes working the meditation through breath and staying centered and open mentally. Then, of course, again, at 2.5 to 5 minutes up front, and at the end, to close it out, to come out of it, that automatically is 5 to 10 minutes right there. So you have to go past 20 minutes to do 30. If you're a person like myself who's reading, studying all the time, preparing seminars, lectures, workshops for people who are working on a chart, doing a lot of mental work, or even you do some physical work, a lot of physical labor type work, then you should strive for working yourself up to about 60 minutes to work with. And it helps, get you into that rhythm of working on and relaxing the body and mind. So you want to work up to about 60 minutes. And you want to do it every day. When you meditate every day, you establish the rhythm in your body mechanism. Your physical body looks forward to it. Mentally, you look forward to it as well. Because why are you going to take your mind off of what you've been doing physically and mentally and put it in a space where you're not thinking at all? The meditation is not contemplation. Meditation is staying open, opening yourself up to receive information, opening yourself up to just relax and not think, but you're going to sense your environment. So you can use the meditation in different ways. Meditation, by the way, means it is the act of finding and knowing your center of being. Medi, M-E-D-Y, M-E-D-I, excuse me, means center. Just like you're doing medicine. So the medicine is on the inside, it's on the center of your body. Now, the center to some of us might be the solar plexus, but it's the heart center, which is the point between the nipples and the chest at the middle of the sternum. Now, for me, it's a little higher. For most people, we're talking about almost at the tip of the sternum, because your heart is really in alignment with the thymus over to the side. So your heart chakra is in the middle. Now, those of you who practice the yoga and Tai Chi and things of that nature, your focus is bringing the chi down to the second chakra. In that position is where most of the energetic work of flowing the Tai Chi and martial arts, your chi, your ki, your pranic energy and healing and Reiki, flowing it up from there. But the energy is actually flowing up from the root through the soles of your feet and the tailbone up the body and out the top of the head and back down again. So, your energy is being utilized like that in meditation as well. So now you know that it's breathing is important, and then your body posture is important. That's 2. And then the third step now is finding what? Location. Location. Now, you might have a spot in your home, in your studio for me, then bedroom, where you can be in the corner of the room. Maybe you have an altar set up there with candles and crystals. Okay, maybe you work from that section. Or again, you're in your office in your den and you pick a spot that's comfortable. Or you can go outside in your yard and meditate beneath a tree, or by flowers and plants, or on your patio or your porch. Or you go to a park and you practice your meditation. You do your meditation there. Now, you should decide what is kind of best for you. Some people flow better with meditation in the middle of the day. They use their lunch period for that. Other people wait till they come home and meditate while at home after work. They go to a park or something. Just like people go home, change clothes, and go jogging, okay? Or in the morning, you go jogging. So in the morning time when you get up, if you can spare the time, meditate when you first get up in the morning. That's one of the best times while you're coming out of a dream time, out of the alpha range, and you can stay in the alpha range before you get into that beta physical active mind range. So it's a good time to meditate then, but you want to be consistent. You want to do it every day in the morning, or every day mid-afternoon, or every day after you come home from work. You want to be consistent. And I say every day because every day is better than just one day out of the week. Just like you have to walk every day to strengthen the legs so that you can walk and get the balance. You don't do that once, right? You have to do that daily. Just like you may consume proper nutrients for your body, or food or something, or water every day. You sleep every day because the body needs rest, right? Body needs water, body needs food, nutrients from food, minerals, and vitamins. And because by doing your meditation every day, you're gearing yourself, you're centering, and you're building up your energy field. Now, what is the energy field that's being built up? It's the aura, which is something that Edgar Cayce, late Edgar Cayce, Sleeping Prophet, coined, the aura, A-U-R-A. We call it the biomagnetic or electromagnetic energy field that your body is giving off all the time. So you want to meditate. This is very, very helpful for you. And when you learn how to meditate on a daily basis, that is very helpful. Now, for most of you, again, 20 to 30 minutes, you might use 20 minutes. I would say 30 minutes. For those of you who work on greater levels with your mind and your body, you should use 60 minutes of time. Now, once you're meditating every day at the same time, same location, by the same time, the same location, you're automatically building up a sanctuary of energy for yourself, wherever you see it, for this meditation. You could always go for a walk and meditate too, like in Zen halls, they do a walking meditation, but you got to be focused, quiet the mind, and stay on the track in your walking, okay? So you're out hiking and you're walking. Pay attention to your surroundings. We call this mindfulness. And I spoke about this in my last video presentation, mindfulness. You got to be aware, 100% aware of what's going on and where you're located at all times. So there's no accidents and no surprises. Sometimes we do have accidents that do occur. Something happens and we still focus, but other things are going on too. But if you can relax, see, with meditation, if you can get to a point of being totally relaxed mentally, it's not that your awareness slows down. Actually, your awareness, empathic nature, clairsentient, clairaudient, clairvoyant abilities, they all become heightened. So you feel like a tingling, organic figure, being. You start feeling and you start seeing things sometimes that can happen ahead of time. In other words, you foresee it before you actually experience it. Therefore, you can make a correction. How many of you out there sometimes are seated at a desk and you have a glass of liquid like water or juice near your computer or at your table, and you get this little image of your hand knocking it over? If you can be aware that you just saw that little glimpse of where you may knock the glass over onto your laptop, onto your artwork, onto your lap, When you pick that, see that, then you have to train yourself. Once I see it, make the correction so that you don't do it in the next 5 or 10 minutes. You take that glass, cup, or whatever, and you move it out of the way. Move it from away from the edge of the table, move it away from your artwork, move it away from your computer, right, or your phone, whatever, so that you don't knock it over. Okay, so now we talked about breathing and your posture and the necessity, to do it every day. Now you should pick at least one day out of the week. If you are someone who's trying to or looking to change your life through meditation, then you should pick one day out of the week so that you can spend twice the amount of time. So if you work yourself up to 30 minutes, then you're going to spend an hour once a week, an hour. If you're doing an hour every day, then you're going to spend once a week and get 2 hours in. If you're doing an hour and a half session, 75 minutes to an hour and a half, then you're going to strive for a 3-hour session. Now, for most people on the planet, most people have the attention span at about 60 minutes. I've worked mine up to 2 hours in meditation, 3 hours. Why? Because sometimes I'm channeling information for other people or for myself. Communication with my ancestors. They're communicating with me. And I don't believe that I'm communicating with them. I know that I'm communicating with them because I'm breathing in the same air that they breathe when they were in this world. And same with those who have ascended in their consciousness and have left the body or in the spirit world. So I know that they are consciously within me and around me. And we're communicating through the. They haven't been on this planet 90 some odd years, 30 years, 40 years. The thing is, I can feel them around. Therefore, I can communicate clearly with them. Okay, with the soul of my ancestors. You can do the same thing as well. Meditation is the way in which to do it. It's easier. You have more self-control of the way you can respond of your environment, your breathing, and what's going on around you. So you want to be able to, again, take at least one day or evening out of a 7-day stretch and spend more time. And let that specific time frame be a time frame where you can work the energy a little higher for yourself. Many people, again, who practice meditation, or it could be just your average person, lay person, but many people do it. There's athletes, amateur and professional athletes that practice meditation. There are dancers that practice, and musicians, artists that practice meditation. People who do stage magic practice meditation. Who do other kinds of, well, the occult magic in a positive way, practice meditation. People who are also in like a medical field. Some of their doctors now practicing. They have been introduced. They have introduced meditation into the school system in the past 20 years. So students are learning the importance of meditation at a very early age, especially in the Western culture here. In the Eastern culture, they already got it. They already know about it. They utilize it all the time. So you want to be aware that you can incorporate this meditation every day of your life. And again, pick one day out of the week that you can spare where you can spend at least 2 hours in meditation. I want to thank you for tuning into this pre-recorded segment. Soon I'm going to be doing some live ones. I'm going to invite many of my clients and students and colleagues to join me through this process on a Thursday live. It's going to be a live video stream. And I'm going to get this particular video for it. Okay, when I do that, this one replaces this Thursday, May the 4th, because I won't be in town. I'll be out of town for a moment. But next Thursday, my goal, which is on the 11th or the 18th, and those are important time frames for me, right around in there every year. Those are very powerful points for me. This is the WESAC time frame also happening in the Himalayas, out in Mount Shasta, California. People connecting with angelic forces, Deva forces, elementals, of course, connecting with the ascended masters and their ancestors and other spiritual beings during this time, especially when the moon is in Taurus. That is when the WESAC festival in the Himalayas connects with the WESAC festival in Mount Shasta, California, the time of the Buddhist and Christ consciousness coming up inside of us and connecting out into the greater world. Okay, so Thursday, May 11th or Thursday, May 18th, we're going to start brand new live, okay? And then we have the 25th, Thursday the 25th, I have a video streaming session so that you can get this information, okay? This is highly important. Also in July, maybe second or third week, I'm not sure yet, but in July, I'm coming on Blog Talk Radio, and this time, instead of just having every Wednesday on Blog Talk Radio, the Age of Remembrance, also known as Circle of Grace 1 in the Age of Remembrance, which goes on every Wednesday. It'll still happen every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Mountain, which is 7 p.m. Eastern for 30 minutes. I've been invited back by the Thor Ministry Radio Network on Blog Talk Radio, Thor Ministry Radio Network channel, I'll be coming back and doing Decree and It Shall Be. Now, I did it from August 2015 all the way to early February 2016. I did a 3-hour segment called Decree and It Shall Be, Internet Radio. Now I'm bringing it back, and we're going to stick with a 60-minute format. I will more than likely come on at about 5 o'clock, maybe 5 o'clock on Tuesday in the evening, or maybe I will do it in the morning. But it'll be a 1-hour program called Decree and It Shall Be for the Thor Ministry of Thor. So that'll be in mid-July. I'm going to get started with that. Also, I have a revised book, Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace, that I wrote in 2004, coming out as a paperback, revised edition. The first book, verse 22 or 23 chapters is right there. It's still, haven't changed any of it, corrected a few syntaxes with words and phrases. However, all of it is there. Plus, one of my PDFs that I did recently was in that book. It was called The Art of Manifesting Your Heart's Desires Through the 10 Fields of Awareness. It's in book. So now, 17 years later, we've got 14 brand new chapters added into the book. And now that book is going to be a teaching manual. So I'm going to take some excerpts out, and I'll be teaching from it right here through live video streaming, through Zoom, through Decree and It Shall Be when I start that channel up on the Thor Ministry Radio Network. I'll start that program in July. And then, of course, still going strong every Wednesday for 30 minutes. The Age of Remembrance, my specific channel. In touch with me, you can always email me at iam.circlegrace1, just like you see there, circlegrace1 at yahoo.com or iam.circlegrace1 @gmail.com. You can Skype me by calling me at 505-349-4722. Well, my grace is your grace, as Akhenaten, my guide, says. Our grace is your grace. Until next time, remember that divine grace is a blessing as we are alive and well in the age of remembrance. Thank you so much. See you again real soon.